Hey guys, so this was originally just going to be one video, but due to recent events, it's now two videos in one. It's on the ruggedness of the Q500 and on props. If you're solely interested in carbon or plastic props, skip ahead a couple seconds. If you're interested in why we use plastic props instead of carbon fiber, stay right there. So the other day I was out with my buddy. I took out all my drones and we went flying. I let him fly my little Simo around. He'd flown it before. I was letting him get a little more practice. I'm like, okay, I'm going to let you fly the easy drone, like the beginner drone. I'm going to let you fly the Yuneec, okay? It's got smart mode. You can fly this thing. It's real easy. Don't worry. So he flies around the Simo for a bit. I'm like, okay, I think you're ready. I put this in smart mode and I give it to him. And I explain clearly. Forward is forward in smart mode, no matter which way the machine is facing. Right? Backwards is always going to be backwards, parallel to the controller. Apparently he didn't quite get that. And he ends up flying this thing into a tree, chopping a branch, and then this thing fell and hit the ground and then flipped over. My transmitter was reading emergency, which was interesting. And the result was 3 of the blades, so the blade that hit the branch snapped, the blades that hit the ground also snapped. The cool thing about this, they all snapped in like the exact same spot. And the one that didn't hit anything, unbroken. So I thought that was pretty cool. I did some diagnostics on my 500 here and everything seems to be running okay. The one motor that hit a branch, it's clicking. A little tiny bit, you can hear it click when I tested it. But I took it for a bit of a test flight and it seems to be okay. And the gimbal, all that came out for the gimbal, I don't know if you can really see, is the dampeners on there. They came loose. I just have to plug them back into the holes and that's it. Okay? In comparison, when my beautiful DJI clipped a building, propeller hit a building, what happened was instead of the prop breaking, and I'm not quite sure all what happened, it happened fast, but none of the props broke, although 2 of them I think hit the building and they all hit the ground. Instead, the shell cracked here and bent, so the motor, the prop was now hitting the shell. None of the DJI props broke. I did have to replace a motor. So, or actually no, I didn't have to replace the motor, sorry. I almost had to replace the motor. They thought I would. They ran some tests on it and didn't. But none of my props broke and it could have been a lot worse. On the Yuneec, they all snapped, which they're not that expensive to buy, I guess, so luckily that was the case. But I'd rather replace a propeller than have to buy a whole new motor. Which brings me up to my next subject. Which propeller should you put on your machine? I originally, when I first did this video that you guys didn't even get to see, I'm sorry, I was voting for plastic. And since my Yuneec crashed, that my buddy was operating, I am ever more so voting plastic. Carbon fiber's cool. It looks awesome. Like really, it's got this nice shiny glint to it. It kind of looks like reptile skin. Really, really tough. Like you can see a very little bend there, right? Compared to the plastic, quite a bit of bend. So if I had, say, carbon fiber props on my Yuneec and it hit the concrete like it did, these might not have broken so easily, and I might have ended up having 2 broken motors instead. So that's one thing. 2, I think carbon fiber also weighs like 0.0 of a gram or point of a gram or a couple grams more than your regular plastic props. So they do add a tiny bit of weight to each motor, which, I mean, it's one of those negligible things, I imagine. Past that as well, apparently they give you about the same performance. Or I've even heard a tiny bit less on the carbon fiber. Cool looks, they look cool. Now, okay, so you've decided, I don't care, I want the carbon fiber props on my machine. Awesome. If you fly it into you, it will cut you bad. Don't do that. Make sure you get your carbon fiber props from an actual DJI dealer or equivalent high quality standard. Don't buy them off eBay. You will pay the same price or more. I bought these off eBay and this isn't the one I've got, but on the tips here, I've noticed on a few of them, they're chipped and broken. So they're not perfectly straight and level. They looks like they sanded out some imperfections and stuff, and some spots are thinner. So I've decided I'm not putting $20 cheap carbon fiber blades on an $1,800 machine, because if my blades give out, my whole machine's going to plummet like a rock to the ground at terminal velocity, and I will be very sad. So, plastic props. There you go. There's the video. So now both, unfortunately, of my drones have had slight mishaps. Both are okay. I am sad. One mishap wasn't even my bad. But I would vote on the Yuneec there for durability. Like, it was a pretty nasty collision. Hitting a tree, falling several feet into the ground. But it fared well. I mean, the camera gimbal can easily be fixed. That's no problem. And because I can take the gimbal off, I can actually fix it easily myself. The DJI, if there's something wrong with the gimbal, you're kind of hooped. You pretty much got to send it in for a servicing, which is a shame. As well as the shell on the Q500, managed fine. I mean, there's like not even a scratch on it. A couple squashed bugs, and that's it. So props to Yuneec for having good props that all snapped in the same spot, which is awesome. They're obviously designed to do that, to save my motor, so thank you. So there you guys have it. I hope that, again, helps you further your flying thingamajigs and choices in life. And I will see you all later. Fly safe, stay away from trees, and don't let anybody else touch your machines. Lesson learned. Have a good one.